everyone, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Wednesday, August 22nd, 2018. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I am Owen Money.
That's a fucking fortunate. Please remember, everyone, that you can help support this show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet, picking up some of our merchandise in the link below, or sending us stories or anything that you'd like us to talk about by going to the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit. All of those are at iReaditcast. Just send us anything that you'd like us to talk about. So, Mr. Money, how are you?
I'm doing all right. These headphones really hurt my ears, though, so I just had to turn you down a little bit.
Like they don't fit in your ear correctly?
I mean, they're earbuds, so they're like pushed up against my ear canal anyways.
All right, I understand. Yeah, I used to use the earbuds, and then I actually bought the headphones that I'm wearing when I went on vacation. They were an impulse buy. I grabbed my headphones that I normally use and stuff like that when I went on vacation, and you know how almost all headphones now have like a little like rubber covering over it in some way? It's either like a little thing that you can replace.
It's the nipple.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, you jam the nipple in your ear.
Yeah, and well, I pulled out my headphones to wait for my plane, and I looked, and one of my
pulled out the nipple too.
One of the nipples was gone.
Yep, that happened to me like 3 months ago, and then I found the nipple on the side of the road by my house.
Nice, good work.
And I was real hyped, and then I destroyed my dryer with it, so not so hyped.
But so I still have them, but I ended up buying these for more than they should normally cost because I was in an airport. But I liked them a lot, and they fit so perfectly over my ears that I'm just like, well, these are just going to be my regular headphones now if I'm not at work. So
it's understandable.
So real quick, actually, before we get into any news or anything else, real quick, while we still have people paying attention at the beginning of the podcast before we drone on about random nothings. I always open up. I always open up Reddit right before we start, and just to make sure that there wasn't anything super big that happened. And one of the things that popped up in my homepage of the subreddits that I'm subscribed to is from our podcast, and it says, "What immediately makes me turn off a podcast?" And their example is, "Host, this week's show was recorded live in front of a studio audience." And, you know, then everyone else is discussing the other things that immediately make them not want to listen to a show. So one of the things that I would like to ask everyone else, and we're always open to feedback, or, you know, if you think something isn't great or something could be better or something that we did that you liked or we did that you didn't like, we ask you to let us know. But specifically right now and here, I'm going to ask you, if there is anything at all that you do not like about this podcast, yet you are listening to us anyway, one, thank you, but two, please let us know. We can't get better if we don't know what's wrong. So please, on any level, if there is anything between video to audio to the release schedule to where it's available to anything at all, maybe it's something that me and Nathan do in terms of our personalities or how we act or anything like that. If there's anything at all that you feel is holding this podcast back, either in terms of our potential or in terms of your listening enjoyment, let us know. You can let us know that by going to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit. All of those are at iReaditcast. You can also email us, iReadit@mjolnir.media. We don't plug the email very often, though. But so if there's anything that fits that criteria, just let us know. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Mr. Money, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Today was a fairly easy day for me. I was actually kind of sick most of the day, so walking and doing anything sucked ass.
Sure.
Now, realistically, you know, I got some sore knees, but that's really about it. Like,
well, I'm glad you're feeling
the
better.
Greatest, but it's like, you know, it's not so bad.
Yeah, not so bad.
It's manageable sickness levels.
It's manageable.
Yeah, manageable, definitely.
Manageable, yeah.
Just like that joke.
Yeah, that's terrible. I feel bad.
Definitely meh.
Yeah, definitely meh.
5.
Top Gun sequel filming aboard Norfolk-based aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln.
That's fucking sick. This is submitted by Trot to our movies.
So the sequel to the 1986 blockbuster Top Gun, which is going to be titled Top Gun Maverick, because
it's got to be about Maverick.
It's going to be about Maverick. It's all about Tom Cruise. Anyway, they have already began filming. They're going to be filming aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, although very little of the film in terms of what they're filming is going to take place on the Abraham Lincoln. A 15-person crew from Paramount Pictures and Bruckheimer Films went aboard the Lincoln on Sunday and will remain there for 1 week while they just essentially get some like composition shots of an aircraft carrier. None of the actors and none of the action or anything is going to be actually taking place on a actual aircraft carrier.
Oh.
I know, right? Disappointing. But the other part of me was like, so do you just like know a guy and you're like, yo, I need to do some filming on an aircraft carrier. Can you hook?
No, you don't quite do that. There's like protocol and everything you have to go through.
Well,
but I'm positive there's certain people that do that.
Oh, I'm sure. It's just like, how do you approach that request? Now, I'm sure the Navy was very open and willing to this, especially because they saw a huge influx in
opportunity of money.
Well, beyond being paid money,
a huge influx of dollars.
Well, beyond the huge influx of dollars, the 1986 film, just straight up Top Gun, resulted in a huge insurgence of fighter pilots and just people recruiting into the Navy.
It still baffles me that the U.S. Navy is the second largest Air Force, has the second largest Air Force in the world.
Yep, second to the Air Force.
That's just ridiculous.
Yep, we're amazing.
Why does our Navy need an Air Force?
Why not, Nathan?
Why not just station Air Force dudes in the Navy?
Because they have to be separate, Nathan.
I don't get it.
I don't know. I got nothing for you, buddy. So, I don't know if someone paid someone a whole bunch of money or if they were just able to be like, yo, we got you a whole bunch of new Navy recruits last time we made this movie. Can we borrow an aircraft carrier for a week and then we'll get you some more Navy recruits?
I mean, they'd probably fucking be super down for that.
I also don't know if people are susceptible to that level of propaganda as they were 30 years ago.
I don't know, dude. There's some really dumb fucking people.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, look at who we elected.
I would like to believe you're wrong, but you're not wrong.
Yo, this is going to be dramatically raising the amount of people enlisting in the South.
It'll be interesting to see what comes of Top Gun Maverick, because I imagine it's just going to be a Tom Cruise movie.
It's going to be a bunch of. I hope it really has the feeling of the first Top Gun movie, just homoerotic everywhere,
just tons and tons of it,
just like blatant like levels of dripping homoness.
Guess we'll find out.
Fingers crossed.
4.
Texas deputy accused of molesting 4-year-old is found dead in jail.
This was submitted by Craig 1818 to our news.
I actually do believe that we reported when this first happened, and that you predicted that he would end up dead.
Yeah. When did we report on this one? We do this a lot.
We do this a lot, and I don't remember the exact time frame, but I recall talking about this. This was the Texas sheriff's deputy that was threatening the immigrant mother with deportation and had separated her from her 4-year-old child and had been abusing her for years, even though she was only 4. And then got found out and was charged and convicted and put in jail. Well, he just was found dead in his jail cell, and
big surprise.
And
that no one ever.
And no one saw anything, no one heard anything, and apparently he died of suicide.
Yeah. Yeah, I too have thought of the perfect suicide. It is falling down an elevator shaft onto some bullets.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
I can imagine that would be a pretty successful suicide.
That was one of my favorite lines from Mystery Men.
I have not seen it.
That's socially unacceptable.
Socially unacceptable, huh?
Yeah.
Jennifer has mentioned
absolutely.
a few times that she wants to watch it, but we've just not managed to get around to it.
I once had a Netflix and chill before Netflix and chill was popular to Mystery Men, and it was the coolest thing.
Good work. Congratulations.
Just Ben Stiller in the background was real awkward, though. I'll tell you what, of all of the awkward things to have sex to.
Wow, buddy. Wow.
Ben Stiller.
3.
BBC News. Michael Cohen strikes plea deal.
This was submitted by a lot of people. This was submitted by Kaspara4558 to our news, as well as I Shit You Not to our world news, as well as Heedy to our politics, but that one's for something slightly different.
Right. They're all connected, though. So basically, Michael Cohen, which was President of the United States Donald Trump's personal attorney for several years, with part of the special investigation through the FBI that is being headed by Robert Mueller, well, some stuff came up on his end, and so sucks to be him. They
he kind of just rolled the fuck over, though.
Well, they raided his office back in April, and basically, from what we can understand, what they found is just he didn't have a hope.
Yeah, I mean, he probably made those tapes because he knew that if he gets caught, he's fucking screwed.
Right. I mean, when they took his stuff and when they arrested him, he was like, well, there is literally no way out of this. I have no hope of trying to get through a not guilty trial whatsoever. A not guilty plea will just not happen. So he pled guilty. Now, he hasn't been sentenced yet, so we don't know exactly how long he will be in prison. But the maximum he could have been in prison is around 65 years, and the prison sentence could be reduced as far down to 5 years and 3 months. So we'll see where it ends up landing with that plea deal. But even beyond that, the other things that are interesting to talk about is that he has stated that he is not only willing, but is not only able to, but is willing to cooperate with the special investigation to provide information to Robert Mueller regarding the corruption in the 2016 election and the collusion with Russia to influence that election.
I see. Okay, so this really ties a lot of things together.
Even beyond that,
I mean, that's his personal lawyer, dude.
Well, so Donald Trump said that, tweeted out that if anyone is seeking a good attorney, for them to not retain the services of Michael Cohen, which is hilarious. But he's...
I mean, it's understandable. Your dude just kind of rolled over on you.
Michael Cohen has also said that even if Donald Trump were to give him a pardon, he would not accept it because he could not accept a pardon from a criminal.
Damn! That's fucking spicy.
Yeah, that's... Ooh.
That's pretty fucking good.
And what I love about this is the people that are like, man, it seems kind of dubious and suspicious that Michael Cohen just swift slides like that. Like, doesn't that raise some eyebrows why he would just completely change sides like that? And I'm like, well, one, Donald Trump's an asshole. Like, even people that support him are like, I really like how aggressive he is. He doesn't really let people relax. He's an asshole. Two, when you are these just pretentious, rich-ass white dudes, you care about two things. Yourself and your money.
Yep.
You care about yourself and your money.
Don't get us wrong. This dude's still an asshole.
Yeah, he's still a piece of shit. But he cares about himself and his money. So the things that allows him to keep himself out of prison as much as possible and allows him to keep as much of his money as possible is the route he's going to go. And so he probably had a conversation with his lawyer, and his lawyer's like, there's no way that we are getting out of this with you not being without a guilty verdict. He goes, all right, so what do I have the option on a plea deal? Well, a plea deal means you might only spend 5 years in prison. We can probably get a large amount of the fines reduced. He went, sick, cool, I choose that one.
Yeah, I think that was the wise decision on Cohen's part. But I am only excited to see what's going to happen so that I can rub it in Chadwick's face.
Oh, yeah?
Just slightly, you know.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Well, it does. The guilty verdicts don't end there, Nathan. They don't end there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
2.
Paul Manafort convicted on 8 counts.
This is submitted by 222 to Our World News.
It should be noted that the charges against Michael Cohen, as well as these guilty charges against Paul Manafort, they are all felony charges.
Oh, absolutely.
All
that
of them.
Highest level, man. You can't... Well, I don't know. Maybe Interpol charges are higher, but like you can't get much higher than felony.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
Anyway, so Paul Manafort's federal jury has ruled guilty on him for 8 felony counts. The judge did declare a mistrial on 10 other charges, but the jury is going to need to decide what is going to happen in regards to those 10 mistrials, because there's still process that can go forward in regards to if something goes to a mistrial. But regardless of that, we do still have 8 guilty felony verdicts, which will result in him currently spending somewhere between 5 to 8 years in prison minimum, and we'll just see what happens after that.
So refreshing.
Now, he has not said anything in regards to, giving up Donald Trump or anything like that, but he was Donald Trump's campaign manager, and he had so much money being funneled to him from Ukraine and Russia that it's very difficult to believe.
It's very damning.
Like, Donald Trump just had his personal attorney and his campaign manager just charged as felons for... Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is exciting, though. This is what I've wanted to see for like a year and a half now.
It's not necessarily exciting to me so much as it was just like, yep, we got there, fam. It took 2 years.
It's the slowest falling house of cards I've ever seen.
So, who knows what happens next? Who knows? But
fate will decide.
World is a crazy place.
1.
Verizon throttled fire department's unlimited data during California wildfire.
That's fucked up. This is submitted by Evan Conover to Our Technology.
So this was in Santa Clara, California, where
That's really bad.
Yeah, it is. Santa Clara is currently dealing with a lot of fires, as is most of just the entire West Coast. Like, if you had like a real-time imagery, it would just be this massive smoke cloud.
There's like 90% spot in 90% of spots of California are like on fire. Well, and you got like a 10% spot of like survival.
Well, and it goes all the way up through Oregon and into Washington and up into Canada. Like, even most of Canada right now is on fire.
Like, this place is fucking lit, and in a bad way.
Well, one of the things that the Santa Clara County Fire Department does is they essentially have like a radio vehicle. They have a vehicle that is specifically purposed to have a good connection so that they can broadcast information that they need to the rest of the emergency services that are in the area. So kind of think of it like a little hub vehicle. Well, they met their unlimited data cap and were throttled down to 1/200th of their speed.
How? How the fuck do you meet an unlimited data cap?
Unlimited, Nathan.
How? I don't understand.
Well, when they because they were struggling now because they couldn't communicate anymore because all of their internet had been throttled, they immediately contacted Verizon. And Verizon was like, well, if you want to pay twice the price and change your entire plan, which will require going through these processes, we can get your internet turned back on.
Well, fuck you guys. This should be illegal.
Well, this is one of the cases that is being presented for the sake of repealing the recent ruling in regards to net neutrality, of trying to get net neutrality back. And Verizon has issued a statement and said that it is traditionally their policy that they will remove throttling restrictions in times of emergency, and so that this was a failure on their part, and it was a failure from the stance of their customer service department, and that they are going to take proper measures against it.
Very dubious of you guys.
At the same time,
thank
big
you
pile of garbage.
I mean, thank you for attempting, like I said.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys are crap.
Also, if there should not be anything that is called unlimited if it is not actually unlimited.
Yeah, that right there should be false advertisement.
So, but, they can just do whatever they want, I suppose, because who's going to stop them?
Because the FCC says they can.
I guess. I don't know.
Remember, Ajit Pai is your enemy.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me! Nathan, what did you care about in the last 24 hours?
Oh, you got it right this time.
Yeah!
Is that Guillermo del Toro is produced Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark begin shooting this week.
This was submitted by Male Nudity to our movies.
Too fucking excited for this. And I have been excited for this for like a year. You guys on here who've listened for like a year fucking know. This is something that I really enjoyed as a kid. And they've really fucked me up. But, it's something that I can't wait for. They began filming in Toronto. The Norwegian filmmaker Andre Uvredal, who was behind Troll Hunter and Autopsy of Jane Doe, is at the helm. And if you haven't seen Troll Hunter, go on to Netflix and watch it now, because it is one of the coolest found footage films I've ever seen. But yeah, no, it's real fucking good. Everyone who hasn't read Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, what the fuck? I don't understand how you're a person. Go and read them.
I don't know, man.
They're just fucking good. Go and read them.
But yeah, so that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark has been like one of the scariest fucking things growing up ever.
Well, we'll see what happens.
God, I can't wait to see Harold on the big screen.
Graveyard Keeper is what I cared about in the last 24 hours. I finally got a
Yeah,
chance.
game sucks, doesn't it?
No?
Yeah, it does, huh? Game's real bad.
Is there a reason that I need to say it's real bad?
So that I don't have to buy it.
Oh, okay. It's awful, Nathan. It's atrocious and terrible. It's
I knew it.
It's absolute
Game fucking
cunt
blows, dude. I fucking knew it.
Blows worse than Oklahoma's wind. Like, it's just atrocious.
Yeah, Oklahoma in general just blows.
It's actually pretty decent. I've been definitely enjoying it a lot. It definitely embraces what it is. And I probably pumped about 3 or 4 hours into it yesterday and just had an absolute blasty blast.
Yeah? Having a blasty blast, pumping things?
Yep. Yeah.
Gross.
You're absolutely correct. It is kind of gross. It's like people you literally have bodies just dropped off at your door, and you can either just like bury them right away. Or you're like, I'm gonna chop this person up. You're like, I'm gonna need his head, and I want his organs, I want his fat. I'm gonna take his skin and his blood, and then what's left I'll throw in a hole in the ground, or I'll dump it in the river.
That's what's up. I like that.
There's also some pretty basic rudimentary combat at this point in time. Like right now, I just have a sword. It's just like chop, chop, chop. But if you've ever played any type of like
Harvest Moon
or Stardew Valley, there is the same like energy system. You can only do so much before you either need to eat or sleep.
That's cool though. I like that system. It really makes it to where you have to actually finish the day.
The thing that I enjoy also about it is that there isn't any like there's lots of quests that you can do for different people, but there's absolutely zero time restriction on it. Like there are some people that only show up once a week in certain places, but if you miss them like on the day that they're supposed to show up, you can just complete whatever it was you were doing for them the next week or in a month if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. People will wait literally forever for you to do whatever they asked you to do.
That's cool. I am upset now that I have to purchase it by the end of the month.
But I will say that if you do play it, to anyone who considers playing Graveyard Keeper,
don't.
No, go ahead and play it. In your basement, there are some buckets that you can break apart, and you will get what are called just basic iron parts. They kind of look like iron hinges. You'll get a few of these from your buckets from a couple other places. Use them very wisely, because you eventually
spend them.
You eventually
like fucking Wildfire.
You are eventually able to make them, but besides the ones that they give you, I couldn't find a place to get more besides buying them from the blacksmith, which is really expensive, and it's hard in the very beginning to get money. So just be very careful with what.
Just sell your body, kids.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you actually can bury bodies, which you can then get a certificate to sell. But beyond that, I would advise going down the smithing technology tree and using the iron brackets that you get for those, because then you'll be able to get and make more.
Don't listen to them.
Yeah, don't listen to me. I don't know anything.
Make the game harder.
Yes, I need to make this farming game even more difficult. Nuzlocke run,
motherfuckers. You need to impose so many restrictions on yourself, and then you need to try and attempt to speedrun under those restrictions.
You cannot use an axe.
Damn.
I don't know how you'd ever complete the game, actually, because you really have to cut down trees to get logs to make
Nonsense.
Anything. Nonsense?
Nonsense.
It makes no sense.
Axe.
All right, you ready to get out of here, friend?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here, or work on doing so, everybody. Once again, as I mentioned at the top of the show, if you believe there's any way for us to improve this show, or if there's something that you dislike about this show, please let us know. Anywhere at all, which I'm going to tell you all the places you can contact us in just a minute, but so that I don't trip up over myself, I am just going to start my closeout script, because it's practically burned into my brain at this point. So if you would like to help support us monetarily, 2 places to do so: patreon.com/dailyinternet, or picking yourself up some of our merchandise that is in the link below. If you would like us to talk about anything, whether it's a recent news story, an old news story, a theory, or just a cool video game, you can send that information to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit, all of which are at iReaditCast. Those are also best places to follow us and share the show if you'd like to help the show grow so that more people can find us. You can follow me on social media at Schwahn Michael and Nathan at Bimmenstein. Other ways that you can help, or if you just are looking for more ways to listen, 5-star reviews on our audio-only platforms such as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and anywhere else podcasts are found are great options. But that's it, everybody. That is your 507th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Owen Money.
And please remember, everybody.
Well, I didn't vote for you.
Goodbye.
Bye!
That's seriously one of the best names that you've had since you started doing that.
It's pretty good.